Hello, everybody. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Because I don't stand still a lot. It aggravates me. So, I'm Peter Ruttura. I'm a concrete contractor from New York. A little different market than most of you. Do we have any contractors in the room? Okay, a couple. Designers? A lot of designers. Any lawyers? Attorneys? No? Okay, good. All right. I may aggravate some of your designers today. I apologize for that earlier. We have a lot of problems right now with ADA tolerances on sidewalks and pavements. In the last 4 or 5 years in our market in New York, we've had developers start hiring consultants that come to the job after we place sidewalks, after we place asphalt paving also, and they start measuring everything because there's been a lot of lawsuits. And we're getting 85-page reports telling us how bad we did. Well, we started ripping out some concrete. We ripped out a lot of concrete over the years. Ripped out some asphalt, also placed concrete pads instead of asphalt. That's a good thing, but it costs somebody money. So, what we're having a lot of problems is design professionals are designing sometimes to the maximum allowable tolerances. So if we have a ramp that's 8.33%, they're designing to 8.33%. And cross slope that's 2%, they're designing to 2%. And I say they sometimes do it, they often do it. In fact, they always do. Very rarely do we have designers that are designing to allow for a tolerance for concrete. So what are we going to do about it? What's the design criteria for sidewalk and ramps? So we have 3 numbers we're going to talk about today. If you don't mind, I'm going to step down because I can't stand up on platforms. It aggravates me a lot. So 3 numbers we're going to talk with. We're going to deal with cross-slope, 2% cross-slope on sidewalks. A lot of people don't realize if there are blue lines on asphalt pavement or concrete pavement, the 2% is effective there also. So in parking lots, and almost no civil designers are designing for that. They just throw contour lines on the ground, and we miss it. Maximum slope in direction of travel for any distance. So on a sidewalk, 5%. Maximum slope is a long one. Maximum slope in the direction of travel for a maximum of 30 feet is 8.33%. At 30 feet, you've got to have a 5x5 landing with a maximum slope in either direction of 2%. It's confusing. 117 lists the same requirements. They also add in a 10% for flares at curb ramps. So when you go in through a handicapped crosswalk, you could have 10% on the flares on the side. So what's a reasonable tolerance? The Federal Highway Administration has a best practices guide. For new construction, ADAAG 4.7 permits a maximum curb ramp slope of 8.3%. However, in practice, 8.3% is rarely treated as a maximum, but is used as a design standard that does not allow for construction tolerances. Therefore, rather than using the 8.3, design the curb to 7.1 to allow for recommended construction tolerances. Can you imagine a federal agency said that? How nice is that? Refreshing, right? So, they're saying design the ramp for 7.1%. Nobody's doing it. Everybody's doing 8.3. Contractors just build what they did, right? We're not that smart, you know? We try to do a good job, try to finish it nice. A week later, a guy comes out with a level and checks it, and we have a problem. So 117 says, maximum allowable design running slope for exterior ramps should be 7.5%. Well, I like the federal government's patent, they say 7.1 words better. Maximum on cross slope, they're recommending a 1.5. So you have 0.5% to play with. What's reasonable? A cross slope of 0.5%, 1.2% in any direction of travel, we agree they're reasonable, we should be designing to 1.5, right? On the cross slope, we should be designing to 3.8 on 5 or 7.1 on the 8.3. The designers are in the room. Do you guys design for slopes allowing for tolerances? Not really, right? We put the maximum on the drawings. Right? So, a lot of times these ramps are between two walls. You've got a handicap ramp slide coming out of the building, makes it not 180 degree turn, comes back down. You've designed the walls to fit in a certain area. The walls, in some cases, get put up by one contractor, then the paving contractor comes by, does the ramps. He can't make them work. We end up with a big problem. The owners never have. We're ripping concrete out. So in New York, we do what they call builders paving plans. The city of New York requires every site job. They do engineering on them, and they give us a elevation of the top curb. They give us an elevation at the property line, and they mark on it 2% slope, right? So what could go wrong with this? We've got 2% slope. We've got elevations on both sides. Sidewalk's 11 foot 10 inches wide. So the elevation at the edge of the sidewalk at the property line is 1152. At the curb, it's 1111. We have a difference of 0.41. The distance is 1110. When we run the numbers, our slope's 3.46, right? How could that be? It says it's 2%, right? We shouldn't have a problem. The problem is, the concrete contractor doesn't do the math. We expected the designers to do the math. It's a hell of an expectation. Right? So how do we fix this? Because we're getting this everywhere. Every job I'm on today, I have this problem. There's not one I don't have. We're trying to educate people. We're trying to run out, do pre-placement meetings, talk to the designers. This is another one where the designer got everything right. See, we've got numbers all around this press area here. It's going to an asphalt parking lot. All the numbers are right. We've got 0.86% slope. If you look at the numbers, it's sloping towards the building. So, this isn't going to work well. All the numbers work. We've got a puddle at the building an inch deep. This got ripped out also. This was on a bank. So, we get something that looks like this. This is another project. The day after the inspector comes to the job, he does a big drawing, marks everything in red as my problem, right? When we brought up that we didn't have the correct slopes on the drawings, the numbers didn't work, they drew this dotted line. I didn't know you could do this. So we've got these dotted lines everywhere. If your sidewalks don't slope right, you can designate where the walking path is, right? So he couldn't get the sidewalk numbers to work. So he designated walking paths. That passes muster with the ADA requirements. But when you go out there, there's no way to walk the streets and know where that walking path is supposed to be. So I'm not sure how that works. But meanwhile, we've ripped out about 4,000 square foot of sidewalk on this job. Or we get reports like this. This was an 85-page report on a bank, a Capital One bank, on a little corner. We got an 85-page report. So this was on the asphalt. We also had problems on the corner because the two streets where they came together, cars would turn over in the street. It was so steep. And they couldn't make the numbers work, but we had to meet the requirements. Now, you see the level up in the corner here? I'm not sure what the inspector's trying to show me here. Willis, he's trying to show me how accurate they are. We've got numbers of 2.7 and 2.9. Now, I love this because the accuracy of these levels, so the manufacturer says, is a 0.2, right? So, being that I have a 0.2 difference, I guess it averages, is that right? Is that how tolerances work on accuracy on levels? So, what's he implying here? That the slope is down the middle, it's 2.8, or is it 2.5? 0.2 off the bottom line. or 3.1. Either way, I'm wrong because it's supposed to be 2. But I'm not sure everybody even understands how to measure this stuff. You know, they all come out now with 2 levels. And, I mean, do you survey on that?
No.
You can't do that, right? It's wrong. So this is where we are now. We're ripping concrete out. It happens every day of the week. That's not my picture. We wear hard hats. This pisses the owners off. It delays the job. It costs me a lot of money. I lose my voice because I go fight with people in this area. We bring the engineer up and say, why did you do this? Well, you should have checked it. I should have checked it. So, how do we avoid this? The designers, those of you in the room, let's not design to maximum values. I'm hoping that ACI 117, the next go-round, has requirements, mandatory requirements, I hope, that require that you use the 0.5% tolerance on the cross slope and 1.2 on running slopes. Let's not indicate values on the drawing if they're not right. You know, it's so misleading. Again, you know, I kid about it. We put people out in the field. We're not geniuses. We can't go through the drawings and check everybody's numbers and verify that the stuff you put on the job drawing is right. And it's pretty disingenuous of you to do that. You know, you couldn't figure it out, so you just throw it out there, let somebody else have the problem. You know, the problem gets really expensive, and you owe the owner more than that. If we can't get the numbers to work, don't put them on the drawings. If you can't get them to work on paper, I sure can't get them to work in the field. It doesn't get better when it gets hard. You know, we gotta make changes. There are ways to modify the original design. Maybe we gotta tell the owner he's gotta drop the building 6 inches and we can't get people out of it, right? Contractors. We've got to look at the drawings. We've got to make sure the design slopes allow for our tolerances. I was in a meeting the other day with a contractor, and he was seeding stone on top of concrete that I had replaced, and he was doing the seeding. I know my tolerances. I know what I could get it to. The steps weren't perfect. We didn't meet the ADA tolerances on the steps. So everybody looked at me, you placed the concrete. What did you do wrong? I said, I don't know, I placed the concrete. And this gentleman came and threw stone on top of it, floated it in. Well, it's not me. I could get it with 1/8 of an inch. So he could see the top of the sidewalk in a step and get it with 1/8 of an inch. Much better than I could ever get the concrete without seeing. We have to know our tolerances. We got to know our limitations. Let's not get out there and pretend we can do things we can't. We need to train our people better. Our field crews need to understand how critical the ADA requirements are. We've got to care about the quality of what we're producing. You can't go out there and just arbitrarily think because it's drawn, it's right. You can see if things are wrong. You got to pay attention to it. You got to make an effort. What we do now, we have a spreadsheet. And every sidewalk job that comes through, we put all the numbers in it, and red numbers pop up that don't meet the tolerance. Then, you know, there's a way to solve them, do big wide sidewalks. And I just learned this week. Oh, this year, I guess. If I have a 15-foot wide sidewalk, I'm doing 5-foot saw cuts. I could take the middle 5 feet of that sidewalk, I could put it to 1.5%, and I could have the other 2 pieces at 5%. Has anybody ever done that? So, I'm doing that, right? But when the owner goes to plow his sidewalk, he's gouging the top. He's got ice piled up 4 inches in the middle of it. It works, but it solves the problem for me. It creates another problem for the owner, because we didn't think about these things up front. If we see a problem, let's address it. Let's bring it up with the design team. Don't be afraid to look stupid. Look, I'm up here talking to you guys. You got to be able to reach out to people and tell them, I don't think this works. you're probably right. It's probably not going to work. You're going to end up with a problem. So, you know, what we're trying to do, we want to educate the design professionals that maximum isn't built. We're imperfect, like you're imperfect. You know, we make mistakes on drawings. We make mistakes in the field. We can only do so much. You've got to give us something to work with. All concrete needs tolerances. And this stuff, it's become a big problem. There's a cottage industry now for consultants that they're running around and they're working for owners and doing these types of reports. In New York City, there's a woman in a wheelchair that has smart levels attached to her wheelchair. She drives around the city at new construction projects and malls, and she has an attorney and she sues developers. I never realized that you don't have to have an injury to sue somebody. She sues them for being out of compliance, and to make her go away, she gets money. This is a whole career. So, so we've got to really work together. We've got to start from the designer's end. We got to design it so that we don't create failures in the field. But contractors, we've also got to pay attention to it. And this is happening. If you guys go back and look at the drawings, it's on almost every drawing you have. You're going to have these problems. Most of you are lucky enough you didn't get caught yet. But I have a lot of friends, and there are a lot of people in these rooms that are getting hammered. That's all I have. Does anybody have questions? No? All right. Am I early? I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
There's some discussion in ADA about this, I believe. Am I dreaming? Isn't there a clause in there that recommends or warns designers to not design dimensions at the maximum tolerance?
They do say that, but it's happening. The Federal Highway Administration says it, but it's happening. ACI says it, but it's happening. You know, it's not only designing to the max, but they're designing way over the max and labeling it at the max. And it's not uncommon. You know, it's truly not uncommon. So, I don't know how we fix it other than trying to educate people. Everybody recommends, ADA, Federal Highway Administration, they recommend designing to a tolerance. What we're trying to get is mandatory that you design for a tolerance. And I'm hoping ACI takes the lead on that next year. Anybody else?
We got progressive engineers. They're designing to 4.9% now. So they're doing us some big favors at a typical sidewalk. But I mean, there's so many tolerances too, just in the design. I mean, in the survey that was done based on the design, and then the stakes the surveyor gives you. I mean, we're taking up your time, and you haven't even built your form yet. So this is good stuff. I hope we can get it through.
Anybody else? All right, thanks for your time. I appreciate you all coming.